Jack, in the light of recent events, I think it's necessary that we reveal to Dr. Petrovich who you really are. From what you told me, I'm convinced that he has absolutely nothing to do with this situation. Send Dr. Petrovich, please.
If it materialized Dr. Marco is somehow connected with the murders, then Dr. Petrovich would be most helpful.
Dr. Petrovich.
Mr. Ullman. Dr. Porter, it's a surprise seeing you here.
Good to see you, Doctor.
Sit down, won't you, Doctor?
Thank you.
What we discuss here, gentlemen, must remain in the confines of this room. This is a very delicate situation. We're concerned with the mutilation murders that have occurred over the past 6 months. We have reason to believe that these are somehow related to the work that you and Dr. Marco were doing. Consequently, you are not above suspicion. Dr. Porter here, who has worked with you in the past 2 months, is in fact one of our agents. I'm sorry, Doctor, but a man in your lab, in your confidence, is essential to us in confirming your loyalty. You see, Doctor, we are asking for your help.
As you can see, I took the liberty of bringing in some of the experimental work from the lab. Now, you know Dr. DeMarco the extent of his work better than anyone. I would like you to explain to Mr. Holman here the theories that you and Dr. DeMarco had developed on vital organ implants and wave transmission.
Well, gentlemen,
Pardon me, Doctor. There's someone else I want to hear this. Would you have Chuck Edwards come in, please?
Chuck?
Yes, I've asked him to come in on this case. Oh, Chuck, you know Alec, of course.
I see it, Chuck.
So this is Dr. Petrovich.
Well, Doctor, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard a great deal about your work. Thank you.
Well, please continue, Doctor.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that all of this is somewhat of a shock, but naturally, I'm prepared to give you all the help I'm able.
Doctor, why don't you start with the explanation of the experiments you and Dr. DeMarco were working on at the time he was dismissed from the Aerospace Research Center?
Well, let me go back a little first. As you know, we've had blood banks, eye banks for years, and more recently, liver, kidney transplants. Heart-lung machines are being universally applied. Open heart surgery is common practice. Now, Dr. DeMarco had developed a rudimentary mechanical heart. But more important, at the time of his dismissal, he was deeply involved in thought wave transmission through radio frequencies, which has obvious applications in the advance of our United Space program. Yes, imagine feeding information from computers into the brain of a man in orbital flight.
You see, Chuck, I want you in on this case. Foreign governments might be deeply interested in obtaining this information. Chuck is in a subversives division. Oh, incidentally, Chuck, how are you doing with those leads?
All right. Looks like the nightclub's a meeting place. I should get some useful information. If I don't turn into a lush first. Doctor, what exactly do you mean by this thought wave transmission?
Well, here, let me demonstrate.
Now, this is a rather primitive device, and we must assume that by now Dr. DeMarco has developed something more sophisticated. The two protrusions are miniaturized transistor radio receivers. As I vary the wavelength frequency of the oscillator, watch the reactions on the brain. You see, there's a definite response.
So what you're saying is, Doctor, that one man's thoughts can be transmitted to another man's brain, and that man will respond to it?
Exactly. In this way, knowledge from the minds of our top astrophysicists, aerospace medical scientists, and surgeons could be combined and projected into the receiving device of a quasi-man in interplanetary spaceflight.
Quasi-man? You mean a sort of a zombie?
Well, it's not exactly scientific terminology, but it would be close to the truth.
What else would you call a man with a synthetic electric-driven heart, a stainless steel mesh stomach, plastic pancreas, cellulose liver, and to mention a few things for a starter?
Incredible.
Not for a minute. And Dr. DeMarco was working in a silicon treatment of the skin, which would make it impervious to micrometeorites.
Now, wait a minute. If this DeMarco and his experiments were so advanced, then why was he dismissed?
Well, when a man doesn't know the difference between an experiment on an Air Force officer and a cadaver, well, I think it's time to drop him from the team.
Look, it's been in these past 6 months that these peculiar moves have taken place. Now, with your eyes, it is not purely coincidental.
There is no need for me to tell you how much we need and appreciate your cooperation. Let me remind you, gentlemen, everything said here is classified. We must continue our investigations undercover.
Where's the tape? Foolish. The matter of money first, then the tape. Hey, one moment, please. There were some complications, some additional expenses. I find the original price insufficient. Trying to change your deal. Well, there were some risks. Risks that require more compensation. I need more money. Why, you? How much? Double. Give it to him. You have a tape.
Agreed.
kind permission.
Control, prepare 15.2 memory extraction. Francho, our little blood exchanger ready. We must get the person into the thermal freeze ball before cellular deterioration takes place. Now, Francho, we're ready for the extraction. We must be sure of total degaussing of the cells.
10.6 will erase every vestige of memory from the patient's brain. He would lose mobility. He'd be totally helpless. A vegetable, so to speak. At 10.2 would leave his motor movements in the retention cells. His brain will recall them again. Now, Francho, replace the DDoS circuit in the programmer. And reset the programmer at exactly 10 and 2/10 seconds. This time we must not fail to remove the emotional characteristics. Our only hope of recovering our original creation is to be sure that this brain is a pure calculating machine. Now, 20,000 volts and 500,000 cycles, and we're ready. Now. Done, Francho. We'll add this circuit to the memory bank until we can make an exchange with the first Astro Man. One day we'll be able to fill the memory bank with the most brilliant minds in the world, preserved forever for the benefit of mankind, to call on them for their knowledge. Working of Francho. The blood exchanger. Aim into the thermal freeze vault. If we are to preserve the patient until we can complete the synthetic heart, there must be absolutely no cell decomposition whatever. We must move quickly now.
Dr. Porter.
You get this Dr. Porter bit. Listen, it's after 5 o'clock, right? My name's Eric, remember?
Would you believe a pinch on the nose?
Would you believe a pinch on...
Eric!
The young are never satisfied with anatomical experiments on plastic models.
Oh, you're quite right, Doctor. Now, never inhibit the inquisitive mind.
Or the investigative hands.
Inquisitive investigation is sometimes best done undercover. Well, my dear, what do you think?
It's very nice, Doctor. But I think it's time for you to go home.
Yes, I am tired.
Go on. I'll finish up. I'll help you, Lynn. No, that's all right. You and Casanova have a date.
Chuck's buying a dinner at the carriage house. You know something? I think he's hooked on the dancer.
Oh, really?
See you 2 in the morning.
Good night.
Thank God, that's me. I owe you. Good night.
Good night, my dear. Don't stay late.
I won't.
It is possible, therefore, to control the Astro Man remotely with thought wave transmissions. All synthetic mechanisms would respond as though human. Take this heart, for example. Not human, solely a product of the laboratory, yet functioning with power from solar energy. You'll notice the heartbeat is uninterrupted.
lift.
The girl?
She's an assistant. Petrovich.
Wait a minute.
How many guesses do you want? Come on. What did I tell you? She terrific. I love that chick.
It's a great idea.
I'm jealous.
Oh, I love you too. Why do you have to get me in trouble all the time?
It's your girlfriend.
She's with two others. And another man.
You are to observe only. Then leave the club before you're seen.
If you don't mind, I must act yours.
But I do mind. You are to leave now. Return here immediately.
That's the card. 109.
Cost you 10 bucks,
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, pal. Hold on. You watch this now. Just keep an eye on it. Okay.
Now what?
Yeah, just hold on. Hold on. It's gonna be all right. That $10 is mine. Gotta be careful now. Easy, easy money. Easy money.
I didn't buy me a drink.
Here you are.
And her, too.
Jack? Do you find the study remotely interesting?
That's my favorite of all studies.
Well, like Dr. Petrovich said, we're undercover men.
I'm sure it's not alone.
Tell us about it, friend.
You guessed right.
Put it in, but CIA.
Who are you? Kill him.
Why?
I said kill him! Don't you ever question my orders again. And get rid of him.
All right, hold it right there.
You see, we must utilize a solar energy storage cell. Anytime there's no light, there's no heartbeat. The storage cell, continuing the flow of current, the pump works uninterruptedly. You see, part of the electricity generated by the solar batteries is held in reserve until required. The cell operates on any source of light, the sun or even man-made light. Pancho! These are the receivers that will relay the knowledge from the memory retention cell into the brain of the transplant. You see, these are tuned to a pre-designated frequency cycle being from the transmitter.
in my mind, gentlemen. Mark Weber and Thompson are onto something. We'll continue a thorough search of the apartment building and the surrounding area. Not many leads, but what we've got is interesting.
It's my fault. I should have been there with Nick.
Now, wait, Chuck. You can't be opposed to all people. You can't blame yourself.
By kidding each other, there's no one in this line of work who doesn't know the possible consequences. Remember, this is a team effort. Each man must perform in the area assigned to him. Chuck, without your play, we wouldn't have this dossier. This came from the teletype from Washington this morning. Our hit-and-run victim turns out to be a very interesting person. Sergio DiMaggio. It is Sergio Damaski. It is Count Sergei Demas. Born Budapest, 1919. Schooled Royal Academy. Served briefly with 2nd Cavalry. Joined Young Officers Revolt, 1952. Tried, convicted, sentenced 2 years. Served 6 months, escaped. Turned party, took part in Budapest riots, recruited as an opera, and attached to Istanbul in 1957. Minor cloak and dagger work, service Paris, 1966. Suspected assassin of Emile Bordeaux, the nuclear physicist. Disappeared, service Mexico 8 months ago. That's the last we have on him.
He sounds like a busy man.
How do you think of Italian?
Well, this is a list of the men who attended the Astro Science Conference just 2 weeks before DeMarco was dismissed. Look at those names.
Nicholas Hendricks, Dr. Noel Huntington, Count Sergei Demas.
Coincidence? Not very likely. Is Dr. Petrovich when you...
He's waiting.
Oh, good. Have him come right in. Now, if Petrovich can match the name on this list, the picture in that dossier, that, Eric, is our client. Oh, good morning, Doctor. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Good morning, gentlemen.
I'll come right to the point. Doctor, you presided over an Astro Science Conference several months ago. This is a list of the men who attended that conference. Do you think you could remember the face of every man on that list?
Well, I remember Dr. Marcus, Nico Boswick, I know Pa Gilden well. Yes, probably.
From my understanding, Doctor, that these men were carefully screened by security.
Oh, yes, of course.
Do you remember this man?
Yes, I remember the face. Quiet man, he stayed to himself. As I recall, he was one of the few that never took notes. Why do you ask?
Yes, Doctor, because that man was found dead in front of the nightclub. A hit-and-run victim.
I'm certain that subversive elements have in their possession very important information.
There's got to be a direct connection between this information and the murders.
Are you trying to say that someone has been successful in creating Astro Man?
Exactly. If you'll forgive me, Doctor, recall the nature of Lynn's murder at the lab. The missing vital organs.
You mean DeMarco?
Well, if not DeMarco, something created by him, something with a demented mind.
Of course. The only brains Dr. DeMarco could use in his experiments were those of dead criminals.
Now, do we know who these men were?
Oh, yes, certainly, from the records in the pathology lab. Or from Janine. She was his assistant. She'd remember all of them.
Chuck, get those records. I have an idea.
The fool. You done the killing.
Yes, and don't you forget it. Now shut up and listen.
Not only have we found a way electronically to reactivate deceased body cells, I have also developed blood that is impervious to infection and disease, and possesses the latent quality of instant coagulation. For example, this synthetic fluid has the ability to feed body cells and keep them functioning as if in a living being.
Police arriving at the scene reported several shots at point-blank range had no effect on the suspect, and no traces of blood were found. It seems our Dr. DeMarco has succeeded in creating a subservient zombie. Not someone who questions orders. This is something my government must have.
If DeMarco is transmitting program information like the tape says, and we know the frequency of that radio transmission, we'll find DeMarco's lab with an RF direction finder.
Well, let's not waste any more time.
Could it be done any other way?
It's the only way. It's the only way possible, believe me.
Here, Janine, these are the pathology records. Take a look at them.
Is it possible any one case has a special meaning to you?
Yes. There's a certain look men get before they die. First thought when I was ward nurse, and then again when I became Dr. DeMarco's assistant.
One of those in the records?
Yes. One night Dr. DeMarco had a call from the hospital. They had a man who had been shot by the police and had only a short time to live. Dr. DeMarco thought we might be able to freeze some vital organs immediately after the mode of death. So we rushed over. I'll never forget the look on that man's face just before he died. It was a fixed, frightening, almost hypnotic stare.
You know something? Holden's plan might work.
I think it will. Now listen, my dear. I'm convinced that Dr. DeMarco has created an Astro Man with a defective brain. And if it's the brain of the man you just described, it would explain why he returned to the lab.
And murdered Lynn.
Do you mean he was looking for me?
Possibly.
We feel he'll attempt to return to the lab if he has a reason.
I see. You mean you want me to act as bait?
Okay. Chuck and I will be right outside the door.
When?
Tonight.
I lay down a grid on the city map. I drive in the RF finder on a northerly to southerly direction. Then cross-cutting, it's east to west. We cover a large amount of the city all at once.
What made you think it works?
Listen, friend, I know my business. Now, we'll set up the frequency selector to pick up only those frequencies transmitted over 100,000 cycles. That way we'll black out all the commercial radio and television stations.
Excellent. What do you suggest we start?
Oh, I think the Woodland Hills area has a nice advantage. We can cover the eastern part of the city in a minimal amount of time.
I don't like the risk.
You let me worry about the risk. What kind of car did you get this time?
The car's no problem.
Did you change the plates?
Of course.
Good. Let's get started.
Now, Francho, the time has now come to test our new brain. We must feed this memory circuit through the emotional quotient modifier to determine if there's any residual impurity. console the electrolytic limiters should disallow interference with the program patterns functioning within the body mechanism, actuate the heart circuit. Excellent. Before we can recall our first creation, we must attempt to override his emotional index by stepping up the voltage and transmission frequency. It's obvious the voltage and frequency boost will not affect an override. Pronto. Remove number 9 from the thermal freeze casket, preparing for brain transfer and total astral mobilization.
You know what to do. The main thing is now to look busy here. Sit over here. Take a look at the slide. Do something anything you'd normally do in the lab. Now, this is important. You've got to show yourself out this window every now and then.
Pardon for being nosy, but where do you suppose he'll come in?
Honey, we don't know, but don't worry about it. You won't take a breath in here we won't know about it.
That looks like a move. Ginny, good luck, honey.
Picking up a signal from that direction.
Sounds like she's keeping busy.
We should be able to see her by the window. Something? Doesn't look like it's going to work, huh? Come on, I'll drive you in. Well?
How about some coffee? Or a drink?
Smells pretty good. Come on. There's got to be a fuse. Everybody else has lights. Got a flashlight?
No, I don't.
I have one in the car and I'll check the fuse box. Be right back. Honey, are you all right?
Yes.
Eric Porter, put her home and run away. Holman, I'm at Janine's apartment. The Astroman tried to attack her. Now look, I knocked off what might be his power source. It looks like a story cell or something. I don't know. No, he got away. Look, he grabbed my flashlight, shined it on what looks like photocell stuck in his forehead. Now look, if Petrovich is right, he's got to head back to DeMarco's lab. Can you get Chuck to converge all available vehicles in the area? We're bound to pick up his trail somewhere. Right. And please call me back. You ready? Easy now.
Put it over there. Sure, this is the place.
Let's go.
No, you're mistaken. Only I will go.
Terrence, what is this?
She knows. Now that we have found Dr. Marco's lab, my information is complete.
I knew I was right about you.
Yes, we are outgrown and those agents pay a higher pay than yours.
As always, Harold, you're a fool.
I won't take up any more from you. I'm sorry, Juan. You must go too.
I should have killed you before. But you may have the pleasure, Juan.
Two friends.
Friendly enough to kill. Tyrus, my friend, we must part company. Poor Tyrus. He was never any good at picking with rulers.
Let's go. We must not keep Dr. DeMarco waiting.
Macho, I'm here. Your own experiment will have to wait. I require your assistance in important work. Hand me the circuit fuser. Fusion from the solar energy cells to the nerve centers is now complete. You see, Franco, the degree of photosensitivity is very important. In addition to reception of all artificial light, or the activation of the heart pump, these photoelectric cells also polarize sunlight for assimilation and storage of the excess in the battery pack. Now, set the heart flow valve on the pump to 5 and the induction coil to 0.2 amps. It must affect the brain transplant while the body is still in a semi-cryogenic state. Another failure would be disastrous.
Yes, it would.
Who are you?
It's our business.
How did you get here?
I'm very adept in your field of electronics, Doctor. With proper equipment, it was quite easy for us to pick up your radio transmissions.
What do you want?
Your knowledge.
My knowledge would be useless to you.
That is for us to decide.
We're aware of your experiments, Doctor. We know that you have succeeded in creating an Astro Zombie.
How did you know that?
The recent murders, the news description of the suspect, and a tape of your lecture at the Astro Science Conference.
Yes, he's the only complete astromobilization I've been able to effect to date. Unfortunately, however, not totally successful. The only brain available to me at the time was that of a psychopathic killer. But I have prepared a new astronaut.
And who is this man?
Franco, my assistant. Able, loyal, and unfortunately mute.
Fortunate for him.
We just completed the photocell test and want to activate the heart system.
By all means, proceed.
call the doors.
Honey, I'm going with you.
Honey, it's safer for you in the car. Now, please go back.
I don't want to be alone.
All right, come on. You stay right here and don't move.
All right, hold it! There is no way. You must destroy it. Then we can complete the organization of the second Astro Man, who is morally pure.
horrible.
Well, there you have it. Marco's genius didn't get him very far.
Well, as Dr. Petrovich said, there is one basic element of human life that can never be removed. The emotions.
Thank God for that.